Welcome back, people. Welcome back, people. It's a nice, beautiful summer, baby. But people, don't get it twisted. All right, don't get it twisted. You gotta stay prepared because winter is coming a lot sooner than you think. Look at that jumbo. I genuinely been thinking about in the future, you know, when I do get a house, getting one on the river just so I could take advantage of having me a jumbo. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, who could tell me how a jet engine works? Roger that, don't worry, Uncle Seuss will take care of you. Now, I got my AMP license, which is airframe power plant. I build jet engines. I'm not gonna tell you where. I don't want to get sued. I'm not speaking for any company or anybody. I'm just speaking for myself. That being said, it has been around 2 or 3 years since I finished AMP school, so I might be a little rusty on the edges. Okay. First, we're gonna focus on high bypass fans. They're the engines that you see on everyday planes. If you ever travel within the United States or outside the United States, just commercial planes we use every day to travel. The reason they're called high bypass fans is because of the air that passes over the actual internals of the engine. That jet engine, it produces thrust. How does it produce thrust? The big fan that's in the front sucks in air. Just like the fan in your house, which pushes air, the blades are just a different design and probably going a different direction, and instead of pushing air, it's just stuck in air, right? As the fan sucks in air, it introduces to the back of the engine in an enclosed area, which is called the CMA, the compressor module assembly. In the CMA, there's something called the CRT, which is just comprised of a lot of blades very similar to the one that's in the very front, just a lot smaller, and those blades get smaller and smaller and smaller, and so does the area that's around the blade, at which if you're shoving air through those blades, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter and get compressed. All these blades are spinning, by the way. As the air continues, it's getting compressed and it gets introduced to the CDN. The CDN assembly is basically just the housing of where the fuel lines and the fuel nozzles go into the engine and squirt a continuous amount of fuel into the engine. Just like a car engine, compressed air, fuel, and ignition create a big bang. And these very hot, powerful gases now continue out the back at a higher velocity. These hot gases now hit the TRT, and this TRT that's in the back is connected through the middle all the way to the fan that's in the very front. These very hot gases are pushing the blades on the TRT at an increased speed, which allow it to power the fan that's in the very front. Now, these blades in the back, they do have very special coatings that allow it to resist those very high temperatures. The air then continues through the back through many other blades that are also connected to their TRT that help push and get the maximum amount of energy out of those hot gases to push the fan that's in the front. Now, that very hot air exits out the back. And besides the fan using the rotating motion of the fan to push air, the hot gases in the back also produce thrust by pushing hot air out the back. Now, if you're ever wondering why jet engines like a F-35 is way faster than a commercial engine, a Boeing that you use to travel, it is because the commercial engines are used to maximize fuel efficiency and reduce loud noise. And the jet engines are not fuel efficient at all. They're super loud and they're just used to go as fast as possible. But how are the F-35s so fast? How are those jet military engines so fast? Well, for the most part, they have the same design. They have all the internals that I explained, the CRT, the CDN, the TRT, all the same. The internals are pretty much the same. Now, how things start to vary is you don't see a big fan in the front, right? It doesn't have two big fans under the wing. And that's because instead of the big fan in the front, which pushes air through the internals, like I explained, and through the outside, which is called bypass air, right? The fan in front of the jet engines push all the air into the internals. No bypass air, no reason for cooling, just maximize horsepower. With that, at the very end of all the combustion cycle, where in the commercial plane or in the commercial engine, the air was exiting the back of the plane and used as hot gases for thrust, the jet engine has an extra stage in the very back. It's enclosed and it has another introduction like the CDN of fuel just getting thrown in the back. And once that fuel gets ignited, that's when it throws that big flame out the back that you see on jet engines whenever they're taking off or trying to go really fast. You see some blue flame come out the back. That's an extra introduction of fuel in the back that allows for a lot of thrust, right? With that, it's faster and it's a lot louder because the bypass air in the commercial engines kind of acts as a reduction of noise, right? It kind of secludes all the noise because the air coming out of the engine is very loud, but the bypass air kind of reduces that a little bit, right, when it gets mixed in the back. One other thing that's pretty cool, if you've ever noticed on the F-35s, I think, or just many jet engines in the military, is that the back end kind of closes and opens a little bit. And the reasoning behind that is you need to control the velocity of the air that's exiting out the back. Because when you're going that fast, velocity of the air and pressure work counter of each other. And it needs to open and close, vary that, and not cause damage to the engine. Look how pretty it is out here, man. I love nature. I love the greenery. Video is getting a little lengthy, so I'm gonna hit you with a part 2 of what I do when I work and how I build the jet engines.